I am a witch, and also the only university student in this village. After a grueling semester spent pursuing Senior Lin Shen, I finally lost my mind. I asked Grandma for a cup of enchanted water, rumored to make anyone who drank it fall hopelessly in love with me. But life is not a dream. On my way to give the water to Lin Shen, a little accident happened. That cup of water was accidentally chugged by my sworn enemy, Lu Kai. Until one day, after Lu Kai and I had already become intimate, he was lounging shirtless on my bed, displaying his 8-pack abs, wearing nothing but floral shorts when my hard-of-hearing grandma called. Her voice echoed, piercing my eardrums. "Granddaughter, it's over. I sent you the wrong medicine. That packet from the other day, that was just sleeping pills for the elderly." Today was Lin Shen's birthday. He had hinted several times that he wanted a watch for his birthday, so I worked extra jobs for over a month to buy him a watch worth several thousand yuan at the mall. Because Lin Shen's attitude was always so ambiguous, I also brought the enchanted water with me, wondering whether I should give it to him or not. It probably wouldn't hurt, right? After all, he must have some feelings for me. Otherwise, why would he text me so kindly every day? Oh, forget it, maybe I should just pour it out. Looking at his attitude towards me, I probably wouldn't even need this thing. But I didn't expect that before my hand could even push the door open, I heard the voice of Sun Zi, Lin Shen's best friend. "Whatcha doing? Is Fang Zhao pursuing you? She's so beautiful, why don't you just say yes?" Fang Zhao is me. Standing outside the door, my heart pounded, and I held my breath, waiting for Lin Shen's answer. Just then, my nemesis Lu Kai sauntered over, looking carefree. Before he could even open his mouth, I quickly dragged him aside and clamped my hand over his mouth. Lu Kai struggled fiercely, his words muffled and unclear. But unfortunately, I was born with the strength of an ox, and he couldn't break free no matter how much he thrashed. Inside, Lin Shen's voice rang out, full of contempt. "What? You wouldn't understand. Don't be fooled by her pretty face. She's a country bumpkin, doesn't have much money. Girls like her are only good for a casual fling. She's nothing like Lu Hong. Her looks might be a bit ordinary, but her family runs a big business. I just casually mentioned I wanted a watch, and she immediately bought me one for 70 to 80,000 yuan, which is over 200 million Vietnamese dong." After hearing these words, both Lu Kai's and my faces turned as black as a pot's bottom. "Damn, is Lin Shen even a man? He dared to say that about you?" After saying that, Lu Kai didn't forget to mock me. "Fang Zhao, are your eyes at your heels, liking this kind of trash?" Before I could react, Lu Kai snatched the enchanted water from my hand, tipped his head back, and chugged it all in one gulp. Then he furiously kicked the door open, stormed in, and landed a punch square on Lin Shen. I quickly pulled Lu Kai back. He looked at me, full of resentment. "Are you still going to defend this scumbag?" "No, but that water, you can't drink that." I couldn't bring myself to say it directly, so I swallowed my words. Lin Shen tried to fight back, but Lu Kai pinned him to the ground, punching him several more times in the stomach. Huh, why is he so strong now? He couldn't even break free when I covered his mouth earlier. Lin Shen saw me enter and immediately put on an aggrieved victim's face. "Fang Zhao, I don't know what's gotten into Lu Kai. He's hitting me. He ruined my birthday party. Later, you'll have to put ointment on me yourself." Seeing the commotion, Lu Hong also walked over. She looked at Lin Shen, then at me, and asked, "What's your relationship?" I spat at Lin Shen, then turned to Lu Hong and said, "I have no relationship with this filthy trash. He said my family is poor, but I have a pretty face, good for a casual fling. And he said your looks are ordinary, but your family has money, and you're generous enough to give him a 70 to 80,000 yuan watch." Lu Hong's expression changed instantly. She lunged forward, slapped Lin Shen twice with a resounding smack, then ripped the watch off his wrist. "Give it here. You think you're so great, huh? I wouldn't give this watch to a scumbag like you." After saying that, she tossed the watch to me. "Thank you for showing me his true colors. It's yours." I was dumbfounded, utterly shocked. Big sister's generosity truly knew no bounds. I timidly asked, This scumbag wore it, so it's dirty. Can I sell it as second-hand, Sister Lu Hong?" "It's up to you." Emboldened, I pressed on, "Do you still have the receipt and box? Could you give them to me too? It'll get a better price with all the accessories." "Thank you, big sister, you're so understanding." Lu Kai, standing beside me, looked speechless. Lin Shen still tried to salvage the situation with Lu Hong. Xiao Hong, it's really just a misunderstanding. Fang Zhao couldn't win me over, so she deliberately made things up. You're the only one I truly love. My feelings for you are witnessed by heaven and earth. Then Lin Shen abruptly turned to me. Look at this whole banquet table. Fang Zhao, I beg you, spare me. Please don't ruin my birthday party anymore, okay? Damn him, he dared to throw dirty water on me. My anger shot to my brain. I flipped the entire banquet table. Eat, 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 all you know is eating. Dishes flew everywhere, landing on Lin Shen's head. He and Sun Zi were covered in soup and sauce, which even flowed into their shoes, making squishy sounds with every step, strangely amusing to hear. I chuckled coldly. Oops, my hand slipped. So embarrassing. How much is the restaurant damage? I'll pay. Lu Kai scoffed. Then I'll pay half, okay? If I hadn't punched him first, there wouldn't be so much fun. Lu Hong waved her hand. Pay for what? I booked these tables, and this restaurant is owned by my dad. Consider it feeding the dogs, saves wasting good wine and food on these scumbags. Lin Shen froze. I froze too. Where could you find a big sister who was both rich and so sharp-witted? I saw Lin Shen's face filled with regret and despair. Lu Hong didn't live in the school dorms. Her family had bought her a separate apartment outside. That evening, on the way back, Lu Kai insisted on coming with me. He said he was afraid Lin Shen would jump out from some sewer and hit me with a stick. The watch I bought for Lin Shen was still in my bag. I wondered if I could return it to the store. I stammered, Lu Kai, thank you today. Lu Kai's face showed a smug look. How was it? Didn't you enjoy watching me punch him? I told you your judgment of people is terrible, but you never listen. All right, don't mention my judgment anymore. Who knew he was a scumbag disguised as a human? After calling the store, the staff said sold items couldn't be returned or exchanged unless there was a technical defect. I looked at Lu Kai walking beside me. He stood by the canal, the moonlight casting a silver glow on his profile, his nose high and straight, his figure tall and slender like a green bamboo in the forest. Why hadn't I noticed before that this guy actually looked pretty decent? His wrist looked quite bare. How about I give you this watch? I originally bought it for Lin Shen. Lu Kai lowered his head and extended his hand for me to put on the watch. His hand was beautiful, too, with long, slender fingers, masculine blue veins faintly visible under his fair skin, and neatly trimmed nails. Don't say it, it actually looks good on you. The silver-faced watch on his wrist instantly made it look more luxurious, not at all like a several thousand yuan item. Lu Kai frowned. Fang Zhao, do you think I'm a scrap metal collection point? Lin Shen doesn't want it, so you give it to me. I corrected him. It's not that he doesn't want it, it's that I never gave it to him. This is money I earned from working extra jobs, a full 3,000 yuan. If you don't take it, give it back to me. Lu Kai pulled his hand back. You already gave it to me, so I'll grudgingly accept. Lu Kai walked me back to the dorm, then strutted off proudly wearing the watch. Halfway back, I remembered I had a package to pick up. The express locker was right by the dorm gate. As I went downstairs, I saw Lu Kai hadn't gone far. Someone greeted him, and Lu Kai raised his hand, showing off his wrist. What a coincidence! How did you know Fang Zhao gave me this watch? At 10:00 p.m., Lu Kai called me. Fang Zhao, that liquid you were holding this afternoon wasn't alcohol, was it? Why am I having an allergic reaction like this? How do you know it's because of what I was holding? I've been in the lab all day, eating bread, and the only liquid I drank was what you gave me. It must be that. Fang Zhao, you have to take me to the doctor. At 10:30 p.m., Lu Kai and I stared awkwardly at each other in the school hospital. His face was swollen like a pig's head, his upper and lower eyelids stuck together. Lu Kai couldn't speak clearly. Fang Zhao, can you still laugh? Come here and watch my IV drip. I was worried, so I called Grandma. She probably sleeps early, so she didn't pick up. The next morning, Lu Kai was still swollen. I started to panic and called Grandma again. Grandma, that water you gave me, if someone else accidentally drinks it, will they have an allergic reaction? My heart of hearing Grandma's voice boomed. That water that makes people fall in love, you two have to kiss once every day, otherwise, the boy will be punished. That must be his punishment. Lu Kai heard every word clearly. He gnashed his teeth. Fang Zhao, who exactly were you originally planning to give that water to? I flinched. I was going to pour it out. Who told you to drink it? I asked Grandma. Grandma, isn't there another way? Grandma, my dear granddaughter, not for now. Lu Kai gritted his teeth and closed his eyes. Fang Zhao, kiss me? Just so you know, you're taking advantage of me here. Now, quickly ask your grandma if there's any other solution. We stared at each other for a long time. He opened his eyes. Huh, Fang Zhao, why aren't you kissing? I sincerely apologized. Facing a pig's head like this, I find it a bit hard too. A hint of resentment flashed across Lu Kai's face. Just as I gathered all my courage and leaned close to Lu Kai's face, before I could even pucker my lips, Lu Hong walked over. Fang Zhao, what are you doing? I immediately sprang back. Lu Hong had come to buy cold medicine and happened to run into us. She looked at Lu Kai for a long time, still not recognizing him, then turned to me and asked, Fang Zhao, who is that pixie next to you? Wah! After Lu Hong left, Lu Kai cried like a boiling kettle. Fang Zhao, you ruined me like this. You have to take responsibility for me. All right, take responsibility. Then kiss me. I gritted my teeth, closed my eyes, and lightly touched Lu Kai's lips. Lu Kai hissed through clenched teeth. Fang Zhao, your lips hit my teeth. I quickly apologized. Sorry. Then I realized I was the one who was in pain. We sat on the hospital bench, each lost in our own thoughts. I was mourning my lost first kiss, which I hadn't even had a chance to savor, while Lu Kai, I don't know what he was thinking. Lu Kai moved closer to me, his hand accidentally touching mine. I screamed and jumped up. You just harassed my hand. Lu Kai stammered, sorry. Then he looked at me, a dissatisfied expression on his face. Fang Zhao, what's the big deal if I accidentally touched your hand? We've already kissed, how is that different? I'm still a decent girl, you know? At this moment, I noticed Lu Kai's swollen eyes had deflated, and his face had returned to its original handsome appearance. Because we came to the hospital in the middle of the night, his hair was a bit messy, and there were dark circles under his eyes from fatigue, but it still couldn't hide his handsome features. I had initially been half believing, half doubting Grandma's words, but now I believed more than half of it. So effective, it really was a miracle potion. After the IV drip, Lu Kai bought me a sandwich at the hospital gate. I looked at him suspiciously. You're not putting poison in it to get revenge on me, are you? Lu Kai looked at me. How could I, who would ever poison someone they like? My eyes widened in horror at Lu Kai. You have to understand, normally, whenever we met, it was like cats and dogs. We stared awkwardly at each other. Lu Kai's expression became extremely annoyed. Fang Zhao, just give up. How could I possibly like you? No, that's not it, I was just lying. Actually, I like you very much, Fang Zhao. I looked at Lu Kai with an unbearable expression. Lu Kai looked directly into my eyes, and yet I could read a hint of deep affection in them. HMPH, I really don't like you, Fang Zhao. Lu Kai slapped himself. Fang Zhao, I really like you. Why can't I control myself like this? I held the sandwich, my mind in a panic, and called Grandma. Grandma, does this enchanted water of yours make people schizophrenic? Is there really no antidote, Grandma? Oh my goodness. My grandma's voice still boomed. This is Grandma. There's no antidote yet, my dear. Lu Kai went back to the lab, and I went back to class. From that moment until the next evening, we didn't contact each other. The dark fourth day, in the evening I had a class. After class, I checked my phone, but Lu Kai hadn't messaged me. I was hesitating whether to text him. Suddenly, a male student chased after me. Fang Zhao, are you free this weekend? I want to invite you to the movies. Lu Kai, dressed in a black outfit, hands in his pockets, stood at the foot of the lecture hall building, glaring at me and the other boy, looking exactly like a jealous, resentful husband. He lunged and pulled me towards him. She's not free, okay? I stared blankly at Lu Kai. He gave a cold laugh. Fang Zhao, just try being free and I'll. I quickly covered Lu Kai's mouth, then turned to the other boy and sincerely apologized. Sorry, I'm really busy. The male student looked at Lu Kai and ventured to ask, what's your relationship? I nervously watched Lu Kai, afraid he would say something crazy. Lu Kai lifted his head and puffed out his chest. Classmates and friends, what else? I breathed a sigh of relief. The other boy, as he left, looked back with an expression that said, is this guy sick? Lu Kai pulled me into a dark corner of the building, his face full of hurt. Fang Zhao, do you care whether I live or die? If I had been a little late, would you have said yes to that guy? Are we just ordinary friends? We're people who have kissed. How could you agree to go with someone else? I wanted to slap Lu Kai, but then I remembered I was also at fault, so I explained. I wasn't going to agree. I was just about to text you. I showed him my phone. Luckily, the WeChat screen was still on our chat window. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to clear my name even if I jumped into the yellow river. Lu Kai brightened up, a slight smile playing on his lips. Quick, kiss me now. I'm in a hurry to go shower. Lu Kai was still not satisfied. So urgent, huh? Class ends at 9 p.m. and the school showers cut off hot water at 10:30 p.m. Lu Kai lowered his head to look at me. I swallowed nervously, feeling a bit anxious. I spoke up. You kiss me. I took the initiative last time, so it's your turn. I tightly gripped Lu Kai's jacket lapel, closing my eyes tightly due to nervousness. Lu Kai's lips lightly brushed mine, a surprisingly soft sensation. So this is what someone else's lips feel like. I could even hear his rhythmic, rapid breathing and his heart pounding like a drum. Lu Kai looked down at me, hesitant for a long time before asking, "Can I kiss you again?" "Kiss your head." Just then, Lu Hong's penetrating voice rang out. "Lu Kai, who are you doing that with over there?" Oh no, my reputation. Lu Kai quickly pulled his jacket over me, holding me tight, then looked up calmly. "Doing what?" Lu Hong looked at him suspiciously. "Doing nothing. Then who are you hugging? Why are you being so secretive, not letting anyone see?" Lu Kai scoffed. "Lu Hong, your supervisor is here, right behind you." Taking advantage of Lu Hong turning around, Lu Kai whispered close to my ear, "Fang Zhao, run." Lu Kai and I ran for our lives. After running for a short distance, I realized Lu Kai was still holding my hand tightly. I looked down at our intertwined hands. After Lu Kai let go, the warmth from his hand still lingered in my palm. I mumbled to Lu Kai, "She's not chasing us, is she?" "No." We looked at each other, then couldn't help but burst out laughing together. When I got back to the dorm, Lu Hong messaged me on WeChat. "Little sister, today I saw Lu Kai hugging some girl. She was wearing a tight striped t-shirt and short denim skirt, quite a hot figure. Tell me, does he have a girlfriend and he's just hiding it?" I looked down at the striped shirt and denim skirt I was wearing, silently vowing to banish this outfit to the deepest parts of my closet forever. I would never wear it again. But still, thanks, Lu Hong, for complimenting my figure. I changed the subject. "I sold that watch for 40,000 yuan. I'll split half with you, okay? Keep those spare change for yourself. But hey, why are you so indifferent to Lu Kai's affairs?" I messaged back, "Oh, is that so? Congratulations to him, I'm going to shower." Sure enough, she wasn't in the dorm, so she didn't know about the 10:30 p.m. water cutoff rule, so I successfully tricked her. After a quick shower, I climbed into bed. The next morning, Lu Kai messaged me. "Fang Zhao, I have to stay in the lab all day today. I probably won't be free until 10 p.m. At the end of the message, he added, "I want to see you soon." I got goosebumps all over, but man proposes, God disposes. The school had a surprise major inspection. In the evening, the professor called me and a few friends to help organize documents. By the time I finished, it was 11:30 p.m. The professor looked at us apologetically. "I've inconvenienced your rest time too much. Everyone, go home and get some sleep." Leaving the archive room, I messaged Lu Kai. "I just finished. Where are you?" Lu Kai sent back a bitter laugh emoji. "I'm still in the lab, not done yet. Come find me." My school was vast. The archive room was in the West District, while Lu Kai's lab was way out in the East District, and there wasn't a single shared bicycle available. It took me a lot of effort to find one. As soon as I scanned the code, it reported the bike was broken. I walked a bit further and finally found a bicycle. Luckily, the streetlights on campus were still bright. By the time I frantically pedaled to the lab building, it was 11:55 p.m. I messaged Lu Kai. Less than a minute later, Lu Kai rushed out from inside, panting. He was still wearing his white lab coat and half-rimmed black glasses. Under his lab coat, his black pant legs were visible, covered in dust. A junior student carrying a backpack walked out from inside. Seeing me, he immediately tattled. Sister Fang, senior brother just saw your WeChat message and flew out like a madman, knocking over all the unused shelves in the room. His legs are covered in dust. His mouth has been grinning all day. It was hard to contain. Even a cannon couldn't suppress it. I kept wondering what he was running for. Turns out a beautiful lady was waiting. It's late at night, and you two still have to meet. What's the big deal if you don't meet for one night? Did you give him that watch? He's been showing it off all over the lab. I nervously looked at my watch. The junior student kept rambling on without stopping. It was already 11:58 p.m. Lu Kai glared at the junior student. You're too free, aren't you? You're on sterilizer duty tomorrow. The junior student quickly pleaded for mercy. Senior brother, I was wrong. The junior student left. The clock struck 11:59. I nervously looked at Lu Kai. He lowered his head to look at me. The moment Lu Kai leaned down to kiss me, the school clock tower chimed. Exactly 12 o'clock. The streetlights flickered off. All around, I could only hear the chirping of insects and the frantic drumming of my heart. I screamed, You don't use your tongue, okay? Sorry, I can't control myself. You support my waist, I'm about to fall. Lu Kai clumsily wrapped his arms around me. Can we continue? Can you stop talking nonsense? After the kiss, both of us were a little embarrassed. Lu Kai spoke first. Baby gang? Who would have imagined my sworn enemy seriously calling me baby gang? I glared at Lu Kai. Don't get crazy here. Lu Kai was indignant. We've already kissed, we've already hugged. You're not planning to ride off into the sunset, just use me and leave, are you? I flinched. Why was I so obsessed with his looks just now? Let me think. After coaxing Lu Kai for a while longer, he said, Let me take you back to the dorm. I asked, Are you done with your experiment? Not yet. I'll take you back first, then I'll come back to finish. Lu Kai turned on his phone flashlight. Suddenly, a black shadow darted in front of us, making me scream. Lu Kai quickly caught me. Don't be scared, it's just a stray cat. He walked me to the dorm building, then reminded me, Don't be scared, go up. I turned on my phone flashlight and stepped into the dark dorm hallway. Walking inside, I turned my head back to see Lu Kai still standing there, his flashlight still on, waving at me. It wasn't until I stepped into the elevator and the elevator lights came on that I felt a sense of reality. I tiptoed back to my room, quickly washed my face, and carefully climbed into bed. I opened my phone and saw a message from Lu Kai. Fang Zhao, good night. Good night, I thought to myself. The next morning when I woke up, I discovered shocking news. Someone had posted a recording from Lin Shen's birthday party on the school forum. You should know that Lin Shen had just been elected student council president. Who did that? It really is satisfying. But I didn't expect something even more shocking. Lin Shen actually had an official girlfriend at another school, and that girlfriend happened to stumble upon this post. So she created an account on my school's forum and made a 30-page PPT file detailing Lin Shen's scumbag past. I was jumping around in the melon field, eagerly gossiping and silently sighing. Why did I ever like this kind of person? Was I under a spell? So disgusting. This time, Lin Shen not only lost his position as student council president, but also faced a high probability of disciplinary action. As I left the door, I already felt something was wrong today. Before I could think much, a van suddenly sped around the corner from behind. I was yanked into the car. It was Lin Shen. Before I could even curse, he shoved something into my mouth. I accidentally swallowed it. Lin Shen patted my face. Fang Zhao, since you couldn't have me, you want to destroy me, right? That post on the school forum was yours, wasn't it? You only have this face that's still somewhat presentable. Don't worry, out of consideration for how much you love me, today I will grant your wish. I glared at him. Lin Shen, anyone who gets involved with trash like you is truly unlucky for 8 generations. What did you make me drink? I dry heaved, but nothing came up. Lin Shen laughed coldly, just a little something to make you excited. The car stopped at a red light. I seized the opportunity, kicked the guy in the back seat, opened the car door, and tumbled onto the road. Luckily, I was wearing thick clothes, so I didn't suffer any significant injuries. Lin Shen tried to get out of the car to chase me, but just then the red light turned green and cars behind honked loudly. By the time he decided to chase, I had already escaped. I rented a hotel room, crying and calling Lu Kai. Lu Kai, I'm in room 1302 of Hotel 20. Come quickly. Lin Shen played dirty. Boo-hoo. I don't know why Lu Kai was the first person I thought of. I had tried to stick my fingers down my throat to vomit, but my body was already starting to heat up. The downside of the school being in the suburbs was that the nearest hospital was a 2-hour drive away. Luckily, Lukai arrived quickly enough. I could tell by his hurried appearance, still in his white lab coat. As soon as he opened the room door, he bombarded me with questions. Fang Zhao, are you okay? Lin Shen didn't do anything to you, did he? Boo-hoo, I'm fine. Lukai, I feel so uncomfortable. Lukai, I'm so hot. I looked at him with blurry, tear-filled eyes and asked, Lukai, do you like me? I could see his Adam's apple move. He swallowed nervously. Yes. Then can you help me? I couldn't control myself and pressed tightly against him, letting out a soft moan of pleasure. Then I used practical actions to show him how to help me. I started undressing him. First his lab coat, then his jacket, sweater, thermal shirt. But I didn't expect him to be wearing another tank top under the thermal shirt. Why was he wearing so many layers? That night we tossed and turned, cooking up a storm, going back and forth all night. I was utterly exhausted. I never wanted to stir-fry vegetables again in my life. When I woke up, I was still full of resentment. Lukai was shirtless from the waist up. I turned my face away. Lukai, yesterday was because I accidentally drank that medicine. It was all just an accident. After saying that, I secretly peeked at Lukai's abs again. Lukai let out a long sigh. Fang Zhao, you're not planning to just use me and then leave, are you? Then I guess I'll have to play you the recording. Lukai, that bastard. Last night he sweet-talked me into saying I loved him, and it turns out he secretly recorded it. I lunged at him, trying to snatch his phone. You only like me now because you drank the enchanted water. What if one day the effects wear off and we go back to being enemies? When you remember all this, won't you take revenge on me? I was truly worried. Revenge how? By scratching my back like this. My old face turned crimson. Leaving the police station, Lukai hugged me tight. Fang Zhao, I was so scared. Luckily, you're okay. I was scared too. If another car had come from behind when I jumped out, I would have been finished. I can only say I have a strong life. Lukai had to go on a business trip for 3 days, and I had to stay at school. I nervously saw him off at the airport. The next day, on a video call, he told me, the stand at the conference wasn't set up properly, and things fell all over me. I asked anxiously, show me, does it hurt? Is it because we didn't kiss today? Lukai's hand, opening his lunchbox, paused for a beat, then he seriously told me, it hurts a lot, really. It must be because of that. Then show me. The hotel lights were dim and yellow. Lukai turned his back to the camera and lifted his shirt. The curve of his shoulders and neck was smooth, and the muscles on his back were firm and strong. Lukai's voice was full of hurt. Is it red? I swallowed. To be honest, I didn't see any redness. It really hurts. I changed my tone. It is a bit red, but it's okay, you'll be back tomorrow. As soon as winter break started, I went back to my hometown with Grandma. My dad had bought Grandma a house in the city. Lukai rented an apartment nearby. My grandma went to bed at 8 p.m. Luckily, the old lady was a heavy sleeper and hard of hearing, so every night after she fell asleep, I would sneak out to find Lukai. Lukai seemed very resentful about this. He said, am I not a decent person that we have to be so secretive? While he was accusing me, I quickly pecked him on the lips. Before he could open his mouth to continue, I gave him another one. Come on, my grandma makes delicious fried meatballs. I secretly brought some for you. Under my pleading gaze, Lukai reluctantly ate one. I set my alarm for 6 a.m., but when I woke up the next day, it was already 8 a.m. I looked at Lukai reproachfully. Why didn't you wake me up? At 6 o'clock, you reached out and turned off the alarm. When I tried to wake you, you almost kicked me off the bed. I flinched, glancing at Lukai. I quickly got ready and tiptoed back home. The house was as noisy as a chaotic market. My grandma looked up from the mahjong table and stopped playing. I gave a flattering smile. Grandma, where have you been, Grandma? I went for a morning run and bought breakfast for you, Grandma. I held up a plastic bag. Inside were a small basket of steamed buns and soy milk. Luckily, I had prepared in advance. Grandma gave me a sideways glance, her voice full of disdain. You wouldn't wake up until noon if you could, and now you're getting up early to buy me breakfast. I choked. Can I be diligent for once? Then be diligent to the end. Go wash the fruit, I want to eat mangoes. I breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, Grandma didn't press the issue. An uncle sitting at the mahjong table stood up. No need. Cam's granddaughter finally came to visit after so much difficulty. Let me wash them. You're Zhao Zhao, right? I'm Uncle Wang. Another uncle stood up. Old Wang, you sit and rest. Your farsighted eyes can't see clearly. Let me wash them and I'll peel mangoes for Cam too. This uncle enthusiastically introduced himself. Zhao Zhao, I'm Uncle Ding. When you were little, I even held you. My mouth twitched. This neighborhood house was only bought 2 years ago. When I was little, I was in some remote mountain village. Yet another uncle stood up from the mahjong table. Zhao Zhao, I'm Uncle Zhang. Cam, are you tired from playing cards? Let me massage your back. I froze in my tracks. Cam was my grandma's name. These uncles looked like they were competing for my grandma's affection. My grandpa passed away early. If he knew Grandma was so popular in her old age, he would probably be shocked. At this moment, another uncle's head popped out from the kitchen. Cam, today you and your granddaughter will have braised pork cock for lunch, okay? Hello, Zhao Zhao, I'm Uncle Zhao. 3 uncles had already confused me enough, and I didn't expect a fourth. I looked at Grandma. Grandma, I think I'm still half asleep. My mind isn't clear. I'm going back to sleep. That afternoon, when I went downstairs to throw out the trash, I saw Grandma hugging an uncle's waist and dancing in the public square. And this was a brand new uncle. Lu Kai and I sat in McDonald's. I looked at him with a serious expression. Lu Kai, I think I'm about to have a new grandpa. 5 uncles are pursuing my grandma. I took a sip of my Coke. Lu Kai suddenly said something out of the blue. Are all you witches this formidable? I was stunned for a moment before I understood. You mean Grandma gave them enchanted water? Lu Kai nodded. Lu Kai and I looked at each other, our faces full of worry. I didn't know what he was worried about, but I knew what I was worried about. Lu Kai and I were originally like oil and water. Only after I gave him the enchanted water did he change like this. This morning, he even cooked me 4 savory dishes and a soup. When I came home this morning, Grandma made me eat breakfast again, so I ended up eating 2 breakfasts in a row. Although I was known as a witch, I had been in school since childhood and hadn't learned any tricks. Only Grandma knew. I didn't know how long the effect of this enchanted water would last. When it wore off, would Lu Kai still love me? Lu Kai tentatively asked, You don't have any leftover enchanted water, do you? I gave him a sharp glance. Who are you planning to give it to, you scumbag? Lu Kai was silent for a moment. I'm afraid you'll give it to someone else. Lu Kai, don't you trust my character? Am I that kind of person? No, I trust you the most. My eyes widened, but then I suddenly remembered something. Grandma said that 2 people in love must kiss once every day, otherwise, the boy would suffer misfortune. Looking at these uncles, all of them were rosy-cheeked and healthy, not looking unlucky at all. I truly couldn't imagine my grandma kissing these 5 uncles every day. I pulled out my phone and called Grandma. My grandma let go of her dance partner and pulled out her old-fashioned brick phone. Zhao Zhao, what is it, dear? Grandma's very busy. I lowered my voice. Grandma, that enchanted water you gave me, didn't you say we have to kiss once every day? Are you kissing these uncles every day? I had underestimated Grandma's level of deafness. Her phone was a loudspeaker type that amplified sound several times, so the other end of the line became chaotic. Uncle Joe asked my grandma, Cam, are you kissing other people too? I don't know. Why haven't you ever kissed me? Through the McDonald's window, I could even see his hand trembling with anger. My grandma quickly coaxed the uncle. How could that be? Uncle Joe, don't you trust my character? Am I that kind of person? I used to believe you, but now I'm starting to waver. My grandma's voice was so loud that my phone was vibrating. Moreover, I could hear everything she said outside clearly, even without the phone. My grandma was puzzled. Why do I hear my own echo on your end? Where are you? I forced a laugh. Where would I be? I'm at home sleeping. Luckily, Grandma was busy coaxing the uncle. This brat is talking nonsense. When I get home, I'll deal with you. She hung up. Lu Kai and I sat behind the glass window, looking out. I don't know what sweet words Grandma poured into the uncle's ear, but sometimes he frowned, sometimes he pounded his chest and stomped his feet, and finally he broke into a wide grin. The uncle was taken care of, but Lu Kai wasn't. Fang Zhao, you told me to trust your character, and your grandma also told people to trust her character. Is this standard excuse a family heirloom? My jaw dropped. Lu Kai's logic was so airtight that I couldn't argue. Am I not by your side every day? Don't you know in your heart? Lu Kai's expression softened a little, but then he thought of something else. You won't admit I'm your boyfriend, and at school, you secretly avoid people. This time, you even avoided your grandma, so I'm afraid if we break up, it'll be hard to face each other. Besides, we were like cats and dogs, and then suddenly we're in love. Wouldn't people find that strange? My grandma and I arrived home almost at the same time. My grandma looked at me, an expression of having seen through all worldly affairs on her face. So, you charmed that boy, huh? I nodded. Yes, I pressed her. So what's the deal with having to kiss once every day, Grandma? My grandma pondered for a moment, putting on the air of an enlightened master. I lied to you. I was afraid you weren't capable enough to win him over, so I deliberately tricked you. You never had a single relationship from elementary school to university. Your grandma, at 16, already had your grandpa wrapped around her finger like a top. But when we didn't kiss a few times, he really was unlucky. Grandma put on her reading glasses. Have you ever heard of survivor bias? My old lady is quite hip, knowing about survivor bias. You mean it's just a coincidence? Exactly. I was speechless. My grandma looked up at me, her eyes probing. So tell me honestly, have your feelings progressed quickly? Yes, they have. My grandma continued to ask, is it that boy who was eating a hamburger with you at McDonald's? How did you see? My grandma put on a worldly wise expression again. Your furtive look could turn into ashes, and I'd still recognize you. Last night, you secretly went out to meet him, didn't you? But weren't you asleep? My grandma looked a little embarrassed. I was scrolling on my phone under the covers. Are you chatting with those 5 uncles? My grandma didn't deny it. I questioned her. Then you made too much enchanted water. Did you give it to all 5 of them to drink? Can't you be a little more faithful? Just give it to one uncle. My grandma raised her eyebrows, looking at me critically over her reading glasses. HMPH, what did you say? Are they not fascinated by my personal charm? My grandma is 72 this year, with white hair and a figure neither fat nor thin. She's been a beauty since childhood, which is why I inherited her genes and don't look bad either. So it's not entirely impossible. This society is beyond saving. An old lady is even more popular than I am. I was so angry that I snorted. That evening, I snuggled into Lu Kai's arms, sniffling. Tell me, why is my grandma more popular than me? 5 uncles are head over heels for her, and I pursued someone for half a year and didn't even succeed. What kind of world is this? Lu Kai's face darkened. Are you still thinking about that scumbag Lin Shen? Me? No way. I swear, I despise that guy more than anyone in the world. I raised my hand to swear. So you want to be pursued by several guys too, huh? I think some junior liked you last time, didn't he? I had originally intended for Lu Kai to comfort me, but it ended up with him pinning me to the bed and rolling around for several rounds. Where is justice? Where is humanity? So I kicked him, sending him flying to the ground. Just then my phone rang. Grandma's booming voice echoed. Granddaughter, it's over. I sent you the wrong medicine. That packet from the other day, that was just sleeping pills for the elderly. No wonder those old men were so enthusiastic all of a sudden. All right, no more talking. I'm going to cry for a while. My grandma's voice was like a loudspeaker, so Lu Kai and I heard every word clearly. I knew it. No wonder Lu Kai had the strength of an ox every day. He acted like he didn't know what sleep was. Wait a minute, so if Lu Kai drank that water, he wouldn't love me, and I wouldn't need to kiss him every day. Lu Kai was shirtless, his chest and abs still bearing several red claw marks from me as he awkwardly got back onto the bed. Confess! If you don't explain clearly, don't even think about getting on here. I gave Lu Kai a cold look. So he knew from the beginning that the medicine was fake and had no side effects. He had been tricking me all this time. That's right, I wasn't just acting on a whim, I had been plotting for a long time. Who told you I liked you, and you didn't even notice, instead you went after that scumbag Lin Shen? My eyes widened. Every time we met, you called Lin Shen a scumbag. Were you telling the truth? I thought you were just trying to annoy me. Lin Shen's bad reputation in the male dorms, everyone knows it. Who knew you girls were so blind? On Lin Shen's birthday, I knew you would go. I couldn't let him steal you away, so I followed. But I didn't expect you to keep carrying that cup of water, muttering mysteriously, sometimes saying you'd give it to him, sometimes saying you wouldn't. I'm a materialist, but I just snatched it and drank it first. Reality proved it had no effect at all. The allergic reaction was due to a problem with chemicals in the lab, but I didn't expect you to be so worried, even taking me for an IV drip. After hearing your grandma's words, I decided to play along. And there's no such thing as bad luck. I really did get hit by the stand, but it wasn't serious. On the contrary, my luck is through the roof. I've been continuously getting 3 SCI papers. It's all thanks to you, Fang Zhao. You are my lucky star. Lu Kai moved closer, taking my hand. I was still in a daze. So all this time, my guilt towards Lu Kai was for nothing. I was also worried that he wouldn't like me anymore, and that was also unnecessary worry. Lu Kai asked me, "Can I get into bed now?" I still hadn't fully recovered. The next morning when I woke up, I saw Lu Kai wearing a pink apron and cooking. He wore a white t-shirt, black shorts, and the pink apron tied around his waist. How to put it? He looked very much like a family man. I secretly snapped a picture of his back and posted it on my social media. Caption: boyfriend making love breakfast. To my surprise, Lu Hong was the first to comment. Lu Hong, Fang Zhao, you can't hide it anymore. That person who was secretly kissing Lu Kai behind the lecture hall the other day was you, wasn't it? Don't think I can't recognize you just by your back. Lu Hong, I'm Detective Conan Hong. I replied, yes, Sister Nai, you're absolutely right. That morning when I got home, I saw Grandma sitting on the balcony. The house was empty, no uncles were in sight. I crept closer to see, she wasn't crying at all, her expression was very calm. She mused, actually, I knew all along I gave them the wrong medicine. I said, oh, but my life is so hard, dear. My son and daughter-in-law live far away, and my only granddaughter just comes home to go out with boys. My life is truly hard now. Grandma shook my shoulder wildly. Zhao Zhao, you'll keep my secret, right? You won't tell your dad, right? I nodded. Yes, Grandma. I suddenly felt a little sorry for the old lady. If only I hadn't accidentally stumbled upon Grandma's TikTok channel, Grandma Cat 2 Cam, going on a trip with the boys again today, accompanied by 3 photos. Grandma Cat 2 Cam, the popular one, is back in stock. Place your order in the shopping cart, everyone. Damn, the old lady had over 100,000 followers, and sales in her shopping cart reached tens of thousands of orders. I started to doubt life itself. My grandma turned to me. So, when are you bringing that boy home to meet me? Seeing Grandma about to start her crying routine, I quickly agreed. Bringing him soon. Lu Kai arrived at my house with bags big and small. Grandma smiled, her eyes crinkling, and poured him a glass of water. Grandson, drink up. I looked at the green water, my heart seizing up for Lu Kai. Grandma, maybe don't make him drink it. Drink it, grandson, drink it? Lu Kai drained it in one gulp. My grandma smiled, her eyes crinkling, and patted Lu Kai's shoulder. Young man, you must treat Zhao Zhao well from now on. This water is my special concoction. If you treat Zhao Zhao badly, watch out. Lu Kai raised his hand to swear. No, Grandma, I will definitely treat Fang Zhao well for the rest of my life. After Lu Kai left, my grandma was holding a feather duster, dusting the sofa. I asked her, what did you give my boyfriend to drink? She leaned her ear closer. What? I shouted louder. What did you give my boyfriend to drink? She smiled, her eyes crinkling. Just green Mirinda. Afterward, I am Lin Shen. Except for Fang Zhao, everyone could see that Lu Kai liked Fang Zhao. Lu Kai was handsome, while I was just ordinary looking. It was clear at a glance that I had no chance of winning. Fang Zhao was also frighteningly naive. I just deliberately helped her a few times, and she started to like me. I didn't spare any effort to badmouth Lu Kai to her a few times. I pretended to be troubled in front of Fang Zhao. There are some things I don't know if I should say. Fang Zhao looked at me. Tell me. I can't believe Lu Kai said those things about you. He said you only had your face, and your personality was rotten, your character was bad. How could he say that about you? Fang Zhao believed it hook, line, and sinker. I witnessed them having fierce arguments several times. When Lu Hong started pursuing me, I was secretly overjoyed because Lu Hong's family was rich, had resources, and could give me a comfortable life. So I easily discarded my feelings for Fang Zhao to choose Lu Hong. Not exactly discarded, I could still secretly carry on with Fang Zhao, but I didn't expect Fang Zhao to find out. Even more unexpectedly, she told Lu Hong, her nominal love rival, outright. My life spiraled downwards. After being anonymously exposed on the forum, the student council removed my name. The comfortable life I thought I'd get from Lu Hong also vanished into thin air. especially when I saw Fang Zhao and Lu Kai holding hands. Based on what? Based on what could she change her mind so quickly? So I did something crazy. I thought after it was over, I just needed to cry and act a little pitiful. Fang Zhao used to like me so much, she would definitely forgive me. I blamed Fang Zhao, saying she posted the expose. But in reality, thanks to the connections I accumulated in the student council, I knew for sure it was Sun Zi who did it. The words at the birthday party were also prompted by him. After kicking me out, he could legitimately enter the student council. When she jumped out of the car, my heart clenched. I was afraid something would happen to her. If it did, I would regret it for the rest of my life. I sent Fang Zhao many messages begging for forgiveness. She only replied with one sentence. Lin Shen, you make me sick. Finally, what awaited me were days of peddling a sewing machine behind bars. The end.